won't die without knowing the cross. Ghettos to the left of us, flowers to the right. There'll be bread for all of us if we can just bear the cross.
Hey, welcome once again. History Mystery, his story versus my story. My name is Lawrence Vincent. I'm your host. And I want to thank all 5 of y'all for watching again. Yeah, all 5 million in my dreams. People texting me at the start of my show. But that's all right. That's all right. I like it. Last week, I hope you saw the show. I hope some of y'all, help the young guys who are trying to help the kids of Atlanta. They're trying to do some things. So, if you missed the show, go to our archives, see the show again, watch. You never know what you're going to get on History Mystery. Tonight, we're going to talk about normalcy bias. I don't know how many of y'all know what that even means. You've been in it, especially if you are from New Orleans and you stayed in the city during the hurricane. You know what normalcy bias is because you actually performed it. Whether or not you know what it is by definition, that's a different thing. I'm going to give you a definition of normalcy bias. Oh, by the way, special guest tonight, going to be a young lady. Hoping she come in. She should be on time, 7:30, I told her. Name is Blaze. This young lady is a vocalist. She has a very smooth voice. She's a contemporary jazz artist. And I met her today, had a chance to hear her music today, and I think she's going to knock some socks off. There are going to be some people who are going to see this young lady, and hopefully, you'll want her in your shows and stuff. I think she's very, very talented. Just from the little bit that I heard today, I think she's very talented. If I'm not mistaken, she's out of Baltimore. Once again, you can have your own show here at WAEN.TV. Need to come in or call in, ask for Miss Betty. If she's not in, ask for Talib. They can help you get things going for your own show. Inspirational Side, WAIN.TV. There again, call in, come in. They'll help you get your show going. Relative to the market, this is probably the most reasonably priced station in the country compared to the market out there. And I know some people talk about other places, but you can make WAIN your home. So, come with your subject matter, what you want to talk about. One of the things that I've been looking at this week, besides my main subject, I always got to tell you what happened through the week. I saw one of the strangest things this week. Now, I don't I don't down anybody for what they do, and I'm not downing these people, but it's the first time that I personally saw a lesbian and a gay male who was She was dressed up like a male, he was dressed up like a female, and they were kissing. Now, that's my first time ever seeing anything like that. Normally, I see the girls get on the bus or the train with a girl, or dudes get on the bus or train with a boy, another dude. But this time I saw a lesbian female acting like a dude and a gay male acting like a female. They get on the train together, then they kiss. I couldn't help but to laugh at first. I had to laugh because in my mind I'm wondering, now when they are they doing the thing that a man and a woman do, and is she the man, or do they alternate things? Every now and then he really let the man come out of him, and she let the female come out of her, and, stuff like that. It's just the weird stuff that goes through the mind. I mean, it's something that I never experienced, and I've seen a lot of things around here in this metro Atlanta area, but that was one thing that really, really stood out to me this week. It was like, wow. Where are we going with this? At least one thing, they can reproduce. If she played a woman role and he played a man role, every now and again, they can reproduce. But I'm wondering if, well, forget it. My mind just, when I saw that's the first time I just laughed. I sent it around to some people in text, and they was coming back to me laughing out loud type thing. Never ever would have imagined that I would see anything like that. That was one thing. Another thing in the news this week, and this is part of the history. Our new governor in the state of Georgia has decided he will take the HOPE grant money and he's going to start cutting it up. Now, if I remember from my reading correctly, that if you're a student, you're probably going to be still covered 100%. If you're a B student, you're going to be covered like 90%, something like that. If you're a C student, you may have to see your way through. So, what does that mean to you? If you're going to school, going to college on a HOPE grant, you best to get your grades up. Get them up to the A margin. And I still could be wrong. It could be 90% for A's and 80% for B's, and see your way through for C's. But anyhow, get your grades up if you want this existing governor to help you out with the HOPE grant. And I think it's going to even affect the pre-Ks. Now, all these government officials, the elected officials, who are doing all this cutting in every area of our government, which is to the welfare of our state, our citizens, I got one simple question. Why don't you cut your pay first before you cut everybody else's jobs? Show us who you really are. Most of our elected officials are well-to-do anyhow. So even if they took a 50% pay cut, it probably wouldn't hurt their household. I would say, 25 to 50% cut, governor, lieutenant governor, whoever the elected officials is, the mayors who are doing all this cutting in their municipality. Why don't you take a pay cut first? Show the citizens that you truly are involved and you are part of the solution, and not sitting there making a couple of $100,000 and not willing to take a cut yourself, but you willing to take people who make their livelihood, who feed their family, from the, the $30,000-$40,000 that they may be making, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 that some of the government employees may be making. Instead of taking their jobs away, why don't you take a pay cut to try to save some of their jobs? Why don't you come to them too and say, hey, if I can get everybody across the board to take a 5% cut, maybe. I'm sure that a lot of them would do it. 5, 10%, even, maybe freeze raises. I know some of the state workers and some of the municipality workers won't agree with that, but if it's to save your job, I think it's worth it. Personally, I think education is worth more than trying to save some owl or some fish that's in a lake. I think our education of our children, who are the future, because Mr. Governor, one day you will get older and you will not be able to maintain yourself, and that's a possibility. So, some of those people who you getting ready to cut out of their education, just the one thing that they need to be trained in may get cut out, and that's what you need to